It's your boy. Just had some sushi with my buddy Eric here.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
He's from America, and we connected through YouTube. Eric's asking me my thoughts on living in Japan long term. How do I feel here? Do I feel like I fit in? Do I feel comfortable here? And he related to some of my videos I posted recently, I guess. So I'm here with him. We had some deep talks today. We got a little deep, and just want to know, Eric, tell me, do you see yourself living in Japan long term? And if you do or you don't, what is like the biggest issue for maybe your American mindset for the people who maybe think they want to come to Japan, they want to live here long term? What is something that they may not be thinking about, or they may not be able to grasp the entirety of it if they don't live here? Let's go this way in the shade.
For sure.
What do you think?
So, long-term living here, right now I am definitely leaning towards returning back to America. Yeah, it's funny because being here, I realized I'm truly American, and like my upbringing was mainly in America, and it just makes sense that I think the way I do, and I think in a very American way, right? And it's something I've truly come to realize about myself.
Can you explain that though? Because I think even for me as well, like I consider myself very American, but I didn't know what is being American. What does that mean? What is it actually fundamentally that's so different than like the Eastern or the Japanese mindset or way of thinking?
Yeah. So one thing for sure is like in Asian culture, you don't really speak your mind, and you kind of put others above yourself in a almost harmful way, and you do everything you can to keep the peace and keep the harmony, and it's sometimes at the cost of your mental health and a lot of things that you shouldn't be giving up on. And I don't know, we were just talking earlier how James was experiencing some stuff at work, and basically there's a coworker that was just talking a lot of crap to him and being rude, and like as an American person, it's just like obviously you cannot accept that, and you will not let them just step on you. And we just naturally come to see that that's not the way things should be. But for people in Asia, people in Japan, people in Korea, it's like that's just the norm, right? Just to hear those things and go through those things every day, and then just accept that that's the way things are, right? And I don't know, like I realized why, as I thought a lot about it, like the reason that American people think this way, it actually has a lot to do with just history and where America came from, and how it's got built on individualistic values and declared independence, all that stuff. It's like it's all related to how we think and what we're taught in school, and therefore like we think in this way that we do today, like as an American, right? And I'm just seeing that like I thought that like, oh, I could just be myself here and really like bring myself here and flourish in a unique way, but there's just a limit to how much you can do when the whole culture and the whole society thinks completely different from the way American people do, right? And so I feel like I've hit a limit point, and I'm like, am I really going to be able to, I don't know, do the rest of my life here, where like there's things that are so foundational to the person that I am, and the things that are so foundational to Japan, it's just like they clash on a level that I can't do anything about, if that makes sense.
So I have to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure.
Actually, this is a great question that there's a guy named Fox Suno who's been a longtime subscriber and a member of my Discord, who he actually messaged me last night on Instagram, and he said that he saw my recent video basically saying the same thing that you were saying. And he said, how much of this mindset do you think is actually like kind of like the American ego getting in the way? And how much of this can you deal with through Stoicism and being like, okay, is there really a real world effect on like you just using more keigo or you just doing that? Like, don't you think it's possible to just be stoic and just like block those experiences out? And maybe you have an ego that's telling you like you can't be beneath people. And is there a way to just like maybe actually like it's better to live like this in Japan because maybe these people don't have egos, and it's like, okay, you recognize that people are above you, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's a totally comfortable way to live. And if you truly are like stoic and you won't let outside pressures affect you, then you should be able to just go through life and basically let these things happen and still be okay and still be yourself at heart. Do you have any response to that? Do you think anything about that?
Yeah, I think to each person it's very different, but personally for me, like, I can't help but like feel the need to be the person that I am, and there's just some things that I can't surrender. And I know some people have an easier time kind of going by the way things are, but at least for me, I know that I can't do that, right? So again, it depends on like what your goals in life are and what you're aiming for and what you're looking for, right? But personally for me, I just feel like I cannot give in to the hierarchy and the bureaucracy and just kissing up to my boss and obeying them and being submitting to them. And that's just something that just goes completely against the way I operate. And I know like my friends are actually like not as complaining as me, and they're having a great time and they're flourishing here, right? But definitely for me, it's just not the way I do things. So I think it really depends on the person. We're all just so different. So
it definitely depends on the person. That's something that I would say. And I also think that there's a certain amount of yourself that is okay just like changing or maybe falling in line a little bit or whatever. But when it's to the extent that it is in Japan, like in a workplace in Japan, something like that, at least for someone who is expressive as I am, who does things the way that I do, like without harm, I'm not harming others, I'm just being myself, just being how I naturally am and how I like to express myself and how I feel comfortable. If I were to act like that in the workplace here, I would actually get like less opportunities because, okay, this guy isn't following the Japanese rules, this guy doesn't understand the culture, this guy doesn't know how to communicate here. If I were to be completely just be my expressive self. And so then I have to act different. As much as I want to be stoic, as much as I want to say it's whatever, it's just my ego getting in the way, I have to actually act different in order to have more opportunities here, in order to follow the rules, in order to be Japanese, in order to, if I want to be considered for a promotion or taken seriously at work, you need to be like, this guy knows the culture, this guy knows how to do things, how we do things here. And if I have to do that every day, if I have to fall into this role that is not myself, just to get some type of better opportunity or have more respect from people and have people think, this guy understands how we do things here, we can take him seriously, more seriously than we would be able to take him if he was just being this kind of loud, not loud, but just expressive, American, being very casual, I would actually get less opportunities if I was acting in my American self, how I am. And so to have to do that every single day just to fall into this role is not okay with me at my core. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. I understand, like we were talking about as well, cultures are so different. People are so different all over the world, and there are many different people, and within cultures there are different people as well. But for me personally, and maybe not all Americans are like this, that's just not okay with me. Obviously I love Japan. I'm sure you love Japan as well. Like,
I do.
Some of the best years of my life have been here.
Oh, definitely, easily. Yeah.
I love it here, but it really is deeper. And I don't know about you, I'm sure you as well, I did so much studying on how the culture is here, how people act, everything that I can possibly do to learn how to be Japanese when I get here. What I'm like, just to make sure there's no surprises, no curveballs thrown at me once I get here. And now that I've been here for 3 years, I mean, I've made it further than so many other people. Other people come for 6 months and realize they don't like it. And I was like, even 2 years in, I was like, I could live here forever. This is great. The deeper I go, the more I realize, okay, wow, well, I gave it my best shot. I had an incredible time here, but this is not my home. I can't be here forever. Nothing wrong. I love this country. I respect it for what it is. I respect the people here. It's obviously an incredible place for so many different reasons, but it's just different, and I just don't feel like this is going to be my home forever. And maybe there are foreigners who want to come here as well, and the reason I'm saying these things, and I don't know, like maybe you just want to express yourself, whatever, but the reason that I say so much of what I say on my channel is because I want people to not put all of their eggs in one basket maybe, or make a rash decision, make an emotional decision. I'm going to pack all my stuff, I'm just going to move to Japan and that's going to be it and whatever. I really want people to think deeply about like realize how different it is. It may be some people say it's not a utopia. Hey, it may be a utopia for somebody. It's simply not for me. So that's just something I want people to think about. And yeah, do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, actually, it's related to some stuff you're talking about earlier, but
Light's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So regarding what James is talking about like having to basically conform to the way things are done here to even advance in your career. I think that's such a real thing. Like, as I observe in my work, actually my manager, he's from the UK, but the way he does things, it's very interestingly Japanese, and he's been working here longer than me, and I think he's figured it out. Like, you have to just be this way in order to advance in your career, right? And it sucks because, like, you know, I get some Reddit comments on some posts that I posted recently. Like, they're telling me, oh, just be yourself. Like, you be the outlier. You be the person who's different. You be, like, the person to create the culture, not the one to submit to it, right? But there's a limit to how much you can really change the way things have been for thousands and thousands of years here. You know what I mean? And
especially as a foreigner, like, being like, how much are we going to take this guy seriously? Also, on the other hand, I guess that might help you more. Maybe this guy's different or whatever. But yeah,
exactly. So I don't know, like, it's because of these things that I'm considering like returning. It's like, wow, I really have to just give up on a lot of the values that I feel shape the person I am today in order to succeed here. And in reaching this point, I'm realizing, oh man, I really got to switch my environment and go back to what is actually supportive of the person that I am. And to me, that feels like America. So that's just kind of stuff that I've been thinking a lot about. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. Also, something we also touched on was, I don't know how you felt about America before you left. I've always loved America. I've always been happy to be American, thankful to be from America. But there was a certain amount of me that was kind of like, I'm a little bit over this country. This country's annoying me. And then once I had lived for a time in Japan, I realized why America is great for so many reasons. And I'm not saying it's only America. Maybe there are other countries as well. Maybe it's just kind of like Western mindset in general. But at least for me, I'm from America. Why I loved the things that I do love about America, and what are a couple of those that maybe you've noticed?
Yeah, I definitely, you know, when you're outside of somewhere, you realize all the things you took for granted. And just a lot of those things for me, for America, are like the way people are not afraid to express themselves and are not afraid to complain even. Like, complaining here is like such a taboo, for lack of a better word. It's just like so
maybe more frowned upon. It's seen like you have a problem instead of like the thing that you're complaining about has a problem. You're seen as like weak for complaining, maybe.
Exactly, yes. It's like, as soon as the minute you complain, people are like, oh, this guy is, something's wrong with him, right? And I don't know, the systems are just set up in ways where like they're so inflexible and they don't consider like special cases. But America has a lot of things that, like, you know, recently, for example, like accessibility in the tech industry has been such a, focus for a lot of people. Like, you know, people who older people who have a hard time reading text, and you know, having elevators everywhere, having like handrails everywhere, and like that is growing here, but it's just nowhere on the level of America and America's awareness for these quote unquote special cases and outliers, right? And like, even like something I experienced at work is, you know, when your family member passes away, or like your grandma or grandpa in America, like they immediately tell you, oh, just leave, go to them, you need to be with your family and stuff like that, right? But here it's like the policy comes first, and then we'll be human beings and talk about your grandma, right? And that incident for me made me realize, wow, like, I don't know, it just personally hurt me so much, like the fact that my family member died, and then we have to talk about policy and rules, and like at the end of the day, like not being able to get the support that I felt I needed, that I, you know, to be honest, felt entitled to being an American, right? And yeah, it truly made me realize, like, the way things run here are so different, and you know, at the point of feeling hurt because of, you know, really personal and familial issues, family issues, it's like, oh man, can I really see myself being here in the long run? And it just, that's the point in which I started to really question me being here.
Like I told him as well, like there was this guy that I worked with. I've told the story on my channel many times. There's this boss who literally was like basically saying I was retarded to my face, like saying really, really bad things to me. Not like just being like a little bit strict or whatever, like bullying me, like straight up bullying me in the workplace. And when I brought that up to my boss, when I brought that up to my coworkers, everyone would like acted like I had a problem. They're like, oh, like that's normal here. Like you were really that hurt by it? Oh, Jimmy, don't give up. Don't give up. And like nobody's looking at this guy like what's wrong with this guy. And if you just compare, like, what if this same thing happened in America? Oh my gosh, if a boss called you retarded in America, you talk to HR, you talk to wherever, like that person is gone immediately. And I mean, it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about.
Yeah.
Obviously, are there outliers? Are there cases where you can live in Japan and you can find like maybe it's a foreign company, maybe it's a Japanese company, and for whatever reason, it's great. Of course there are. I know somebody's already gonna say, well, I have a friend who lives out there and they love their life, and I'm sure they do, and that's great. But these are just general themes that if you are coming from America, Europe, wherever, it really is probably, I'm willing to bet, it's more different here than you expect. And like I said, before you throw all of your eggs in one basket, like I encourage anybody to come out here and attempt living here, get out of your comfort zone, do something different. But it's maybe not the place where you can live for your entire life. Do you have any more thoughts?
This is just a completely different side rant, but I noticed there's a lot of foreigners that come here who kind of live exactly the same way they have been living in America, like just staying indoors all day, watching Netflix all day and playing games all day and not making the best use of their time, and then feeling like they have an opinion on Japan. And I'm like, I don't know, like that just really bothers me, because it feels like they haven't really actually lived life here. So if you're thinking of coming here, like, I don't know, come with the mindset of trying to make the best of your time and really like making the most of your life here, and like maximizing like each and every day to really experience the culture and the language here. And I think as long as you have a mindset like that, you will get the most out of it, and you will come to see the really good things about Japan, but also realistically see the things that kind of don't work for you, or things that you could adjust to and whatnot. So yeah, if you're coming here, I don't know, make the best use of each and every single day. And I assume James has done that, and I'd like to think I did my best doing that. And I think we're in a place where we really have strong opinions about this place, but it's hard to develop those opinions if you don't live your best life here. So I really recommend you do that if you come here.
Totally 100% agree. I'm gonna let y'all guys go. Eric needs to get out of here, so we're gonna dip. But thanks for watching, y'all. Young James, you know what it is. Look up my description for all my links. Eric, check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the description. Listen to his music. He's a badass musician, badass producer. Anyways, we're going to keep going. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.